Running a 21st century railway needs ever more complex systems. On the newer lines, these are already built in. The older ones need constant updating. But wherever they are, the systems are only as good as the people who run them. And the people who run them have to be trained. Ishmael has been waiting over 2 years to be accepted onto the train driver's course. The training will take 4 months. If he passes, his salary will almost double.
Most of us, we're eager to get on the train now.
Especially at busy stations.
Ishmael will have a full month in the classroom before he's allowed to take the driver's seat.
You have to work hard for it. The only time it becomes easy is if you know it. It's a technical thing. If you don't know it, you can't guess it.
This is the master controller. It's a dead man handle.
Yeah.
You drop the handle and automatically the emergency brakes will come on as a safety. To drive a train, it's easy. It's knowing what to do when things go wrong.
These days, when trains go wrong, they're increasingly complicated to fix. This means more and more technical demands on the drivers.
Put there to protect that equipment from any surges of current coming in.
At the end of the month, Ishmael and his fellow student Nengi will be tested on their knowledge of the rolling stock. Only then will they be let loose on a train.
So it's scary, because you know you're carrying around 300-400 passengers, and anything can go wrong.
You dream of this, you think of, this is your life now. Since I started this training, I've been dreaming of trains. And I just pray, oh God, I don't want to dream of trains. Let me just sleep and wake up one.
In the meantime, there's a lot of homework to do.
My wife is annoyed with me. Every day she hears about something new for the day, and she's had enough. But she don't want to say it, but I know.
If he passes the course, Ishmael will be based at Wembley Park. The station is currently being rebuilt to serve the new stadium. Over the coming months, the work is also going to affect the track itself, meaning trains will not be able to run through Wembley Park at weekends. This presents a particular problem for Jubilee Line Trains manager Des Moffat.
At the moment, we're doing work at Wembley Park for the stadium renovations, which means where we'd normally reverse trains in the points there, we can't use it.
It's become a matter of pride for Des to get round the problem without resorting to a bus replacement service.
Now, under normal circumstances, we run buses, but we're not a bus operating company, we're a train operating company. So what we're doing is running trains single line between Stanmore there, Kingsbury there, which means they run up and down the same line, up the northbound, back down the northbound. Now that creates problems because all the safety equipment and the equipment related to the trains are all for trains travelling in one direction.
To make Des's plans work, the points and signals that ensure the trains run safely will have to be locked shut one by one, all the way from Stanmore to Kingsbury. This is an unusual strategy, and Des's reputation depends on it working smoothly. He's got an anxious night ahead of him to ensure the track is ready for the first train of the weekend.
It has its stresses. We're even running a model train set. You know, trains derail, people make mistakes, people don't follow the rules, there might be something on the track. Normally it could be a spider or something that can cause a major operating problem.
John Polly was a driver himself until he gave it up for a desk job at Network Control.
I enjoyed it, and I do miss it in a funny sort of way, but at least I've got my little trains to play with instead now, and they're much less trouble. I wouldn't have told the company, but I'd have probably spent a lot of my time driving on the Northern Line for free, but I'd never let on. It's nice to see the public come along and they recognise it as the tube, and of course a lot of them have happy memories, but I think the majority have memories of being squashed into a tube car.
In the Reel depot at Neasden, Horace Clark has a traditional solution to an age-old problem.
that particular area down there, there should be a thick layer of bird droppings on the floor there, and it was really, really bad because they seem to have taken up nesting all along the girders there.
Pigeons and their droppings are a constant problem in depots.
There was so much of it, we were concerned that it might be a health hazard. Some of the guys suggested once that we got someone in to shoot them, but I think the staff got a bit upset about that because they found that inhumane.
But the more humane methods all failed to get rid of the pigeons until they found Ted.
Right, this is Ted. Ted's an 8-year-old Harris hawk, and he's a bird that comes from Central South America. For this particular one, he was bred in Romford. I'm just going to attach the transmitter to his tail. Also, you have a bell, and that enables us to locate Ted when he goes out of eyesight. Basically, we can hear where he is.
Working with birds of prey, Paul Mathanu has to be attuned to their moods.
You can tell by his facial expressions that he's a little bit on edge at the moment. He doesn't like his feet being touched, this one. Okay, we take now, he's completely free to go. The idea is that the bird's flown on a regular basis in these sheds, and pigeons that are here become unnerved at his presence. They tend to eventually get the idea that a bird of prey has taken up residency in the area and it's safer to be somewhere else. He knows these sheds like the back of his wing, basically. If he gets one, I'm in trouble because he can spend the rest of the day feeding on it if I can't get to him. So we do all we can to get to the bird before he devours it, swap the food that he's caught for food which is in our bag, so he still gets a reward.
After half an hour, Ted has been flown through just 2 of the 4 sheds of the depot.
Playing me about. No, he's not here. I thought he was in front of me. Lost my bird already. I have to track him down, basically. As you see with the transmitter, I have to get a signal and find him. Could take 10 minutes, it could take 10 hours.
What did this say?
It's less than 24 hours till Ishmael takes his test.
Do you know what that means?
Nengi's also doing her homework.
You're prepared, but at the same time, you're worried. If everything goes well, by this time tomorrow, it's party time. Party time.
It's just over an hour since Ted disappeared.
He decided to fly out the shed and pick a fight with the local crows, magpies, gulls and anything he could find over towards where the houses are. And he was getting quite a beating from them, actually, so he was losing, yeah, because there was in a gang, so... But he came down eventually and got him safely back. As you can see, they want him out of their area. This is their territory and they want him gone, basically.
It's past midnight at Stanmore. The last train has been stabled in the yard. Des and the team are ready to start a long night securing the points for single line working.
Thank you, Pat.
John Bird
Bye-bye.
will be in charge of the work.
Right, traction current is now discharged on both rows. It's now safe to go onto the railway. Lovely.
The points are locked shut, one by one.
You've got the padlocks, Simon? I've got the padlock.
The padlocks will make sure the points can't be changed by mistake.
Should be it, the last one's in. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be it.
That's a single line working in now. When we get back on the platform, I shall hand it back over. The railway will be handed over to me, and then this is all mine until Monday morning. Yeah. My nightmare for 48 hours.
The team have been working all night, and there's just time to get some tea before setting off on the first train of the morning. Over the weekend, it will take 35 extra staff to provide single-line working. At this time of day, they often number more than the passengers themselves.
We have an obligation to all our customers, not just the ones at the busy stations. Any customer is equally important, whether they're at a busy station or a quiet station. They all have equal importance, and we're obliged to provide them with a top quality service.
But the first train is barely out of the station before the top quality service breaks down. There's nothing wrong with a single line operation, but by a stroke of bad luck, this train has developed a fault and will have to go straight back into the sidings. But all the points have been padlocked shut. So this'll mean undoing last night's patient work. John's not happy.
So I'm going to have to take the single line out